production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
The government of Jamaica is pulling out all the stops to ensure that the youth of our island home are empowered to be the best they can. Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Today's show promises to be informative, with all you need to know about auto insurance and how you can get in on the job of building our nation, a community at a time. Before we get to those and other features, we have for you a word of advice followed by the news. So please stay with us.
Keep moving on, mind gotta be strong and don't indulge in self-pity, but strive. Step up in life and go for what you know.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Monday, November 11. Government is likely to sign off on amendments to the ban on smoking in specified public spaces by this month end. Minister of Health, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, says he is awaiting a report from Cabinet following the recent deliberations by the Human Resource and Social Development Committee of Parliament. Speaking on Sunday during GIS TV's current affairs program Issues and Answers, Dr. Ferguson said about 30 interventions relating to the policy had been implemented since it came into force on July 15.
We are yielding as it relates to smoking in homes, although we are going to be ramping up the public education, because remember your children, your helper, you know, because the question of workers, remember, you know, these regulations were put in place to protect workers, children, non-smokers and smokers themselves.
Minister Ferguson said government remained adamant that the health objectives of the regulation would not be compromised in any revision of the policy. Persons who access the services of the St. Anne's Bay Hospital will soon notice an improvement in the delivery of health care at the facility. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says a number of measures are being implemented to improve patient care at the hospital. Just recently, ground was broken for a $74 million female medical ward, which should be completed by January.
What else have I done? We have broken ground to build 2 new operating theatres to improve the throughput. That's an additional $140 million.
Okay. But when do you think that might be completed?
That one, I believe, should be completed about March, April.
Okay.
It's somewhere there.
Construction is to begin next month on 3 diagnostic and care centers for students with special education needs. The centers, which are expected to cost $40 million, will be built at the Sam Sharp Teachers College in St. James, the Church Teachers College in Manchester, and the College of Agriculture, Science and Education in Portland. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites, who made the disclosure in a recent interview with GIS News, said the centers should be up and running in 2014.
We're going to be asking the universities to assist us with people, particular skills that we need, speech therapy, guidance counseling at a different level. And schools will be able to send children who they can't handle to these institutions for diagnosis and for therapy.
The 3 centers in rural Jamaica will end the need for parents to take their children to the Microchild Assessment and Research in Education Center in Kingston. There are also plans to build a similar center in Old Harbour. The Port Authority of Jamaica has engaged stakeholders in discussions concerning the proposed development of the Goat Islands. This follows an environmental scoping study on the area identified by the Chinese for the establishment of a $1.5 billion transshipment port and industrial commercial economic zone. The meeting included persons from communities in the Portland Bight protected area, members of academia, environmentalists, the maritime sector, and the business community. Port Authority President and CEO Professor Gordon Shirley made it clear that environmental management scoping study was in no way intended to replace an environmental impact assessment. This, he assured, would be undertaken after a framework agreement had been done and the project submitted to Cabinet for approval.
Environmental impact study to be designed in detail. No approvals would be given for a project to go ahead prior to that environmental impact study and all the other assessments haven't been done.
A summary of the key points of the Environmental Management Scoping Study report can be viewed on the PAJ's website at portjam.com. And finally, the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment is looking for exciting new events to be endorsed under the Reggae Month It's Kingston for February initiative. The initiative is aimed at leveraging the unique value and cultural significance of reggae music while attracting more visitors to Kingston. Selected events will be endorsed by the Jamaica Tourist Board and included in the Reggae Month It's Kingston for February calendar. Interested persons are invited to complete and submit the request for endorsement form, which may be found on the Ministry's website at mot.gov.jm/entertainment. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
God, you know, I didn't want to ask you this question a long time. Do you have a JADET card? You know, if you have a JADET card, it can save lots of money when you go to the pharmacy.
Man, certainly, man. I have my own JADET card, man. I've had it for quite some time now. That's helped me tremendously with my health condition.
That's nice.
Senior citizens on the Jamaica Drug for the Elderly program. Take your card to participating government or private pharmacies that display the JADEP sign. Then collect your monthly supply of approved drugs for the chronic illnesses covered by the program. To know more, call the toll-free number 1-888-GO-JADEP. That's 1-888-465-2337.
A weekly roundup of some of the engagements which occupied the ministers in the office of the Prime Minister this past week comes your way next.
Prime Minister concludes productive three-day working visit to Japan. Jamaica's partnership with China strengthened, and National Sports Museum for 2014. This is Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Samantha Allen. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is now back on the island following a successful three-day working visit to Japan. The Prime Minister's visit to the Asian country came ahead of the 50th anniversary since the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Strengthening cooperation and promoting investment opportunities were among the major objectives of Mrs. Simpson Miller's visit.
Jamaica welcomes increased activity by Japanese firms and investor interest in our country.
During her packed schedule, Mrs. Simpson Miller paid a courtesy call on Japan's Prince Akishino and signed two important agreements with the country's president, Shinzo Abe.
Today's signing of a joint statement and technical cooperation agreement solidified the importance Jamaica places on the partnership that exists with Japan. Our collaboration has translated into a number of projects and programs in the areas of trade, economic, and technical cooperation.
In addition to attending a dinner hosted by Prime Minister Abe, Mrs. Simpson-Miller also engaged in meetings with the president of the Japan Olympic Committee and the Parliamentary Friendship Group. She promoted investments in Jamaica's coffee and tourism industries during discussions with the Yushima Coffee Company and the Japan Association of Travel Agents. The Prime Minister also promoted the Global Logistics Hub initiative as a viable option for Japanese investment when she spoke at the Latin America and Caribbean Business Forum. It was hosted by the Inter-American Development Bank and the Japanese government.
The goal is to develop Jamaica as a logistics hub will be pursued on several fronts. The Montego Bay Airport, as I mentioned earlier, the Kingston Container Terminal, which is amongst the largest in the Caribbean, will be privatized and expanded. There are also plans to construct another major transshipment port linked to an economic zone through an investment of US $1.5 billion.
Ahead of her Japan visit, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller met with that country's ambassador to Jamaica, Yasuo Takase. The two spoke of the long-standing relationship between their countries and events planned to mark the golden anniversary. Even as the Prime Minister was away in Japan, the minister responsible for information welcomed China's new ambassador to Jamaica at Jamaica House on Tuesday. Senator Sandra Faulkner had a wide-ranging discussion with the Chinese ambassador, which included cultural and media exchanges, as well as economic strategies to further strengthen relations between Jamaica and China. For his part, the Chinese ambassador committed to working hard to enhance the already strong relationship enjoyed by both countries. And the National Sports Council is reporting that the National Sports Museum could be a reality by 2014. The Council's Capacity Building and Infrastructure Committee Chairman, Don Anderson, has said that the timeline was decided at a recent meeting. He added that a number of possible sites had been identified. They include space in the New Kingston Shopping Centre, a facility in downtown Kingston, and a vacant lot adjacent to the National Stadium. The museum is being established by the government to celebrate the achievements of Jamaica's sportsmen and women. And that's it for this week's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Join us again next week for more of the happenings coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Welcome to the FSC Minute. I am Nadine Newsom. Today we explore issues related to insurance, and my guest is Ms. Rosemary Henry, Senior Director of Insurance with the FSC. Welcome to the FSC Minute, Ms. Henry.
Thank you, Nadine.
Ms. Henry, can an insurer cancel my insurance policy before notifying me?
By law, an insurer is required to provide notice to the insured before terminating a policy. This can be delivered or sent by mail to the last known address on file for the insured.
Can a company refuse to accept my application for the insurance of my motor vehicle?
A company can refuse an application for insurance if the individual is considered to be high risk. An example is where an individual have had several accidents in the recent past, they would consider to be high risk by that company.
And if my insurance company refuses to pay my claim, what are my options for a speedy resolution?
The matter may be referred to arbitration if all parties agree. Otherwise, the claimant can refer the matter to the FSC. The FSC will do their investigation where it has been established that the claimant has a right to settlement. The claimant also has the option to go to court.
Thank you, Ms. Henry. My guest today was Rosemary Henry, Senior Director of Insurance with the FSC. For the FSC Minute, I am Nadine Newsom.
Have you ever been in a traffic accident and had to deal with an insurance company? Well, this next feature is for you.
Tires began to screech. A cacophony of horns could be heard howling some sort of warning. They were followed by a tirade of abuse and high-pitched rambling from drivers. Then, deafening silence. It was the unexpected, another motor vehicle accident that could transform lives into a huge tangled mess of despair. Luckily, there was a safety net: auto insurance.
Auto insurance is used to protect motorists against each other, as well as to protect themselves for damage to their vehicles or to their passengers.
And apart from the protection it provides, Paragraph 4, Section 1 of the Motor Vehicles Insurance Third-Party Risks Act states that it is illegal for any person to use a motor vehicle on the road unless a policy of insurance is in place. This will ensure that if a traffic accident occurs, the victims, motorists, pedestrians, and passengers have some form of compensation for their loss. There are three main types of insurance policies for motor vehicles.
There's third party only, which is the one that's required by law, and that's the one that covers the other guy. It covers your passengers, and it covers everybody else on the road. Your vehicle is not covered, and you, the driver, are not covered.
Third-party theft and fire offers added protection, ensuring that motorists are compensated if their vehicles are stolen or destroyed by fire.
And then you have comprehensive, which is everything rolled into one. So you're getting fire coverage for your vehicle, theft coverage for your vehicle, and collision coverage for your vehicle, as well as a protection against you accidentally hitting somebody else on the road.
Based on the type of insurance policy, a number of factors may determine one's premium, the sum of money paid out to the insurance company. Factors include the age and the type of vehicle, the age of the policyholder and the driver of the vehicle, or the claims history of the driver.
Somebody with a list of accidents behind their name is going to have a higher premium than somebody without one. So, as I said before, it's a case-by-case situation, and even though there's a general guideline that most insurers will follow in each insurance company, everybody is assessed individually.
The lesson in context: drive carefully. Now, there are other things you can do to lower the cost of your auto insurance. Shop around, compare premiums and benefits offered by insurance companies. Practice defensive driving, drive for yourself and others, and if possible, restrict the number of persons allowed to drive your vehicle. If you live alone, you can consider allowing yourself and a close family member or friend to drive your vehicle. Restriction will attract a lower premium as opposed to an open policy where anyone with your permission can drive the motor vehicle. Another thing you can do to lower your auto insurance is to suspend your policy if you will be off the island for an extended period of time. That's if no one else will be allowed to drive the vehicle. Discuss this with your insurance company, as there is usually some monetary benefit to this type of policy suspension. Installing a tracking device may also reduce your motor vehicle insurance premiums, but do the math. Ensure the tracking device bill isn't more expensive than the money you would save on the premium. You can also negotiate your deductible or excess to lower the insurance premium. A deductible is the amount of money a policyholder pays when there is an accident.
We have it there to avoid the minor fender benders. It would be uneconomical and administratively burdensome to deal with every single ding and dent at an insurance company. Also, we want the policyholder to have a stake in their vehicle.
So if a car values $2 million and the excess is 5% of the value of the vehicle, once the policyholder makes a claim on the insurance policy, he or she would have to contribute $100,000 towards the cost of repairing the vehicle. The excess is, however, refundable if another driver was at fault in the accident and your insurance company was able to settle with that driver's insurance company. To leave financial breathing room, one can also opt to pay their insurance premiums in parts, for example, twice a year. You may end up paying a little more, but at least your savings will not be severely depleted. Note, however, that if there is an accident, you may be required to pay off the premium upfront before you can claim on your policy. Now that we know some of the things we can do to lower the cost of auto insurance, let's turn our attention to what happens if there is an accident.
Take as many pictures as you can, if possible, on the scene of the accident. 2, get all the information for the other party, as much as you can. That's name, who was driving, who owns the vehicle. Again, that's not always the same person. The type of vehicle, and any insurance details that you can get. Try and find a witness Far too often we don't have enough claims where we have a witness statement, an independent witness. A passenger in your car doesn't count as an independent witness, especially when it's your husband or wife or brother or sister. Then go to the police and report it, and then you must report it to your insurance company.
So why does one's premium go up after an accident? Put it this way, experts say insurance is a pool of funds to which everybody has to contribute. If money from the pool has to be paid out, then the pool has to be readjusted to maintain its balance so that it can adequately compensate all contributors who may suffer a loss.
When you're in an accident and it's going to cost $1 million because somebody's injured and you have to fix the other guy's car, and your premium goes up by $10,000 or $20,000, you're still in the green $980,000. So don't look at it too much as a penalty of your premium going up, but of your contribution to the pool maintaining balance.
From January to June 2013, the motor vehicle insurance industry saw about 16,000 new claims and an increase in personal injury claims due to a change in culture and the legal system. The motor vehicle insurance industry also recorded about 450 thefts from January to June 2013. So auto insurance is there to compensate victims of traffic accidents. Drive carefully on the roads. Determine the best insurance policy, one that provides adequate coverage while attracting a reasonable premium.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub.
A topical subject on the minds of many Jamaicans. What exactly is the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative?
Logistics is the process by which businesses manage the flow of goods, services, people, information, energy, and other resources through the entire supply chain from source to end users.
The various components of the hub will allow Jamaica to capitalize on the increased trade expected to flow through the region when the Panama Canal expansion is completed in 2016.
We are not saying by that all of the project would have been finished. We are saying that there's a core set of projects and programs that must be implemented.
The Jamaica Logistics Hub, a plan in action to increase trade and grow the economy.
November is Local Government and Community Development Month, and the lead agency mandated to assist in the development of communities has several projects, some which may be going on in your backyard. Take a look.
Travel through Jamaica, and you will experience unique talents and a culture rich in many ways. The country is abundantly blessed, the land is green, the people are dynamic, and developed nation status is attainable by 2030 if citizens play their part, starting at the community level. At last count in 2009, there were 783 communities in Jamaica. Every one of these communities possess tremendous resources that can make Jamaica a desirable place to live, work, raise families, and do business. But to achieve that, the people who live in these neighborhoods must take action to turn resources into the raw material for success. It's what the Social Development Commission, SDC, promotes in its island-wide work with people at the grassroots level.
So what we're saying is that Citizens Association is that first step where groups of persons or individuals come together in that community to deal with the affairs of their particular space.
To encourage more persons to get actively involved in the development of their communities, the SDC implemented Community Month. It's commemorated annually in November. Get involved, stay involved, the theme for the 2011 month of activities. Through sports and other activities, community development is encouraged, and residents are engaged in efforts to improve the environment they inhabit. In 2011, those efforts took form in 5 national projects.
And those 5 national projects are geared towards economic enablement. We have environmental component in terms of beach cleanup, so you think of all the agencies that work with the environment. We're also having education. So we have the PTAs, we have the principals associations, and we have just general citizens in communities.
It goes in line with our theme, get involved, stay involved, and I want Jamaicans to maintain that level of involvement, the importance of being a part of a community group, and how that impacts on national development.
If residents get involved, they can do much to solve the basic problems within their communities. Citizens of Hampton St. Anne, for instance, are taking charge of their economic needs, making good use of the almond found in abundance in the area to whip up a profitable punch.
Great. No, this is more than good. It's great.
The people of Rowlandsfield, St. Thomas, also looked within for a means of revenue.
A lot of natural resources that we believe that can, in proper timing and in right development, can be meaningful, used meaningfully, and used to create some kind of income.
In Sturgetown, St. Anne, residents have opened their hearts and homes to the concept of heritage tourism. And in Glengopp, St. Catherine, land degradation from severe weather systems is being prevented through a massive tree planting exercise. It's this kind of ingenuity that's being promoted by the SDC. The government agency continues to work with communities to achieve their fullest potential.
We try to ensure that we identify resources through government agencies that can help citizens to achieve their fullest potential. Getting involved in sporting programs, getting involved in projects, getting involved in training programs, that kind of thing.
The SDC's mandate is to advance sports, culture, social and economic development at the community level. The agency helps community groups implement projects of their own creation, helps residents craft project proposals, and to source funding.
The other thing is that there's available data. The Social Development Commission will work with the communities to gather data on the community. We have community profile. They can use that data to, when the issues come up, know the real stats behind. So what is causing this drainage problem? What is causing the low educational attainment? So we use that and have priority plans.
One by one, communities can build Jamaica. If your community needs help to carry out a project, please contact the SDC. Parish offices are located island-wide, or you may visit the SDC head office at 22 Camp Road, Kingston 4. Call 928-8304 or 928-1856. You may also log on to their website, www.sdc.gov.jm.
It's a new beginning. New day is dawning. It's time to arise. We are the gene of achievement and pride.
Bold new beginning, time for action. We have the spirit to fight on.
This is Jamaica. This is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica. This is our land.
Let us make every effort to forge unity. And resolve to work hard for our prosperity.
Leaving our children a legacy of hope. Breaking the shackles and smashing the yoke. This is Jamaica. This is our land. This is our we have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica. This
Let me hear the children say.
This is Jamaica. This is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica. Come on, everybody.
flag.
And that's how we bring the curtains down on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Have questions or comments? Email us, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm, or join us on Twitter @JISNews. Want to keep abreast of the happenings of the ministries, agencies and departments of government? Visit our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Pleasant viewing.
This has been